Microsoft Word is a word processing software used to create, edit, print, and share professional looking documents such as applications, forms, and resumes. In today's video, we're going to be going over a few basic features that will help you use MS Word more effectively.
So first we're going to open up Microsoft Word. You may have a shortcut on your desktop, but I don't, so I'm going to type in Word in my search bar. And this option is for Microsoft Word, so we'll press that. And since I have this product through my university, I'm going to use my university mail to sign in here. So that's it, and it's going to check. And now we have options to what kind of documents we want to start off on. So they give you multiple templates, so you can choose more templates where there are various options, say cards, flyers, letters. But for now, I'm going to just start with a blank document. And so this is the basic home page, as you can see right here for Microsoft Word. On the first home page, there are all mostly text formatting tools, and I'll display a few of them. So now we have our testing text here. So the first option is font. So this lets you choose between whatever font you want and whatever you prefer in your document. There's multiple of them, and the good thing about this is that all the font names are written in the font itself. So without even having to press it and look at it, it shows you what font you want. So we can choose, say, so if you want to change this font, you can highlight that and you can choose Arial Black, see, and it changes it for you. So yeah. The next is font size. So all it does is it just changes how big the text is. We're gonna we'll stick to 14. Yeah, that seems good. And these are just shortcuts here, just to increase the font size. Same thing. Yeah. And so if you want to change your, so whatever this font is given, it's the font where your cursor is. So right now the cursor is here. So the font here is Calibri body size 14. But if I would change this to Arial Black, say, then everything I type after that will be in Arial Black. So if you want to change the entire document that you already have, then you have to select the entire thing and then you press Arial Black. Otherwise, it's going to only change from where your cursor is. So if you're here and then you press Arial Black, then everything after that will be in Arial Black. The next option is just sentence case, lowercase, uppercase. It's not too important. You can do that all with the previous options. The first option here is bold. It makes the words you type bold. So if I press bold now, it will give me the same text except in bold. So bold. And you can unselect that. This is italic, so it gives it a slightly more curved, slanted sort of text, if you don't know what italic means. So you can tell the difference here, obviously. The next one is underline. So it just underlines whatever text you write. So if you write underline, so that could be used for headings, any captions at the top, whatever you want, underlining works with that. And there's different options, so you can choose the type of underline you want. So it could be these squiggly, so I can show you a few of these. So if we're doing underline, and then you select that, and then it shows you the different options. So double underline, single, dotted, all these options, wavy, yeah. So next is subscript and superscript. So if you are a maths teacher, or if you have to write something in a mathematical formula, then you might need the power of something, or if you're writing like a log statement, so say you need to write log to the base 10, so you can choose subscript and then base 10, and then you deselect that and you write x. So that just gives you a lower subscript option there. And if you want to write, say, 10 to the power of 2, so you choose superscript and 2. So it just makes it more easier for you to do it without having to mess around with the font sizes too much. Now this is just this is text and typography, so it just gives you cool effects on your words. So we'll say red box. So this is our testing text, and now you can choose different options. So I'll make it bigger for you to be able to see better. And now we can choose different options. So if we choose, say, that, it gives us options like that. So yeah, that's basically word art if you want. This is text highlight color. So if you want to say highlight a certain part, so if you're explaining to your students through a text document and you want a part to be highlighted if there's an important statement, then you can highlight it like that. It's pretty simple. You can choose the color as well, or you can say no color. So it just makes it a blank highlight. So it's basically nothing. So yeah. So blank highlight is to basically remove the highlight that you already have. And this is text color. So that just changes the color of the text that you already have. So if I choose red, it's red. So white means it would be invisible here. Black, blue, etc. Another quick tip is that if you don't know this already, is that Control Z. If you make a mistake, say I select everything and I hit backspace by mistake. Control Z is the tool to say undo. So whatever you did, the last action that you've done on your computer, it undoes that. It undoes that action. So that's what you get. And now we're going to go through this next paragraph formatting quickly. So this is left alignment. These are just text alignment tools. So left alignment, center alignment. So I'll choose the entire thing for me more easier. So left alignment, center alignment, right alignment, and justify. Justify just sets it to the default of the text. This is line spacing. So based on how much space you want between each line and between paragraphs. So this is 1, 1.5, and so on. These are for writing points. So if you want to write, if you want to make points for a certain statement, then you can say bullet. You got to choose what kind of statement you want. So I'm going to just choose the regular, and I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and so on. It keeps going as you keep. So once you write something and you press enter, it automatically creates the next bullet. And if you want to stop, you just backspace the bullet, and you're back to normal. Next is a numbered list. So you get multiple options here as well. You can make your own, but we're not going to be showing that right now. So we can say 1, and then if you finish, you press enter, you get 2, and then you can type that out. And then as you keep pressing enter, as long as you're entering something in the in each component of the list, it will keep adding a number. But once you're done, you can just backspace, and you're back to normal. Backspace this, yeah. And this is just the same thing as list, but it's just for sublists as well. So if you want one, so these are the examples. So 1, 1A, A1, and so on. Same thing here. Now we're going to go into styles. which include the type of spacing and the type of styles in your entire document. So here it would be normal, then you can say no spacing, so it leaves no line spacing. So these are basically preset spacing or preset paragraph formatting if you don't want to use these. So here obviously you have all these line things. So these are already preset formats that you can choose between. So it's a combination of both the paragraph styling and the font formatting. So it just gives you multiple options if you don't want to have to choose. So the only difference is that all of these combined, they've made preset classes for that, so you can choose those whenever you want. And now for editing tools, there's a find tool. So if you press find, I want to say, so since these are all gibberish words, I'm going to say Erna. So I'll search for Erna in this document. And it tells me that it's right there. So that's just the find tool. There's replace here. So this is find and replace. So I have the word Erna here and I want to find this word and replace it with Runa. So I can say replace. If you see under the document, you want to continue searching from the beginning and you say no. And then you close it. So as you can see, this used to be Erna and it got replaced with the word that I chose. And this is to dictate it'll use the artificial intelligence voice to dictate your entire document or whatever you've chosen. And yeah, that covers almost every feature on the home page.